2 diabetes. You guys are probably aware by diet and exercise, things like that, or even by, drugs, for example. So the question is, why is it that when a person with type 2 diabetes, when they exercise, for example, why do their tissues become more insulin sensitive? Well, one thing that cells can do when a person exercises is that they install or increase the number of glucose transporters in the cell. So at one point you have that 3 glucose transporters and you can allow a certain amount of glucose in. But the minute you start exercising or doing other things that help to sensitize your tissues, your cells will start making glucose transporters, they will traffic them up to the membrane, install them in the membrane, and all of a sudden you've got many glucose transporters, and so now more glucose can be brought in. So that's just one example of how cells can regulate how many of these channels or carriers you have in the membrane. Really, really cool stuff. You guys think about like cells that, if you think about why cells respond to certain drugs or they do not respond to certain drugs, sometimes they're just completely saturated. So they've bound all of the chemicals that there are to bind and they can't do anything else. And sometimes if they want to decrease their sensitivity to certain chemicals, they'll just take them out of the membrane. Maybe a receptor, they'll remove it, or they'll remove these transporters so now they're no longer able to respond to a certain chemical. So lots of things that can be done with these carriers and chemicals.